Hi, and welcome to the Center for Teaching and Learning Introduction to a three-part workshop series that we're starting on July 20th. These workshops will run 3 weeks in a row. The first workshop available for all 3 weeks, the second workshop available for week 2 and 3, and lastly, the third workshop will be only available in week 3. There's varied times and dates. Please go to the Eventbrite website and make sure to look and see what might work for you. These 3 workshops are all built around teaching in the time of COVID. The first one is making sure that we understand and discuss the general guidelines for PPE, get into a little bit about classroom management and de-escalation, and talk briefly about the psychology of teaching during something like a pandemic. The second one is all about learning during a pandemic. And this is where we're going to revisit some of the psychology and get deeper into looking at what our classroom looks like face-to-face and how we engage our students. The last one is all about active learning during COVID in a time where we have to wear PPE. So briefly, I want to go through some general basics of each one. And at the end of this video will be your homework for workshop 1. So stay tuned. All right, so the very first one is going through generalized PPE, understanding the different types of masks that students might be wearing, looking into social distancing. I have experts coming to talk to us about how we can set expectations in our classroom community for public health and safety and what we can be doing ourselves to model and reinforce that behavior. In addition, we're going to focus in on classroom management during this time, comparing and contrasting regular classroom time to time during COVID. It's different. So we want to have a discussion and talk to you specifically about some of the scenarios you think you may encounter, some of the challenges that may happen for you, and specifically discuss how to get through those with an eye towards de-escalation. So everything that we're going to try to do is to reduce conflict as they arise when there's an issue that may occur in your classroom. And I've been hearing lots of you ask questions about this, so I'm really happy to provide this toolbox for all of you. Obviously, there's many answers, but we're going to go through it with you individually each session. We're going to reduce stress. We're going to talk about how we can do that for ourselves and our students and talk about managing change. In the second workshop, which is all about learning during a pandemic, in that one, we're going to really talk about the psychology of the pandemic. We're going to get deep into that. We're going to look further into classroom management, but now our focus is not necessarily reducing conflict, but instead making sure that our pedagogy and the standards of our discipline are met. And lastly, we're going to look at engaging students in active learning. When I'm wearing a mask and when I'm social distancing from you, it's really, really difficult for me to pick up on body language. So it's important that we talk about how we get around that and still actively engage our students in our classroom community. Regardless of whether or not you are coming to campus to teach face-to-face, or whether you're just going to be coming to campus to do work, we all need to understand very clearly the guidelines that Cincinnati State has put forward and the expectation the college has for both faculty and students. Our goal during these 1.5 hour workshops is to spend a lot of time discussing. The CTL is a place of service, and if you've done a workshop with me before or any of the facilitators of the CTL, you know that we take our time to talk about your concerns and to try to specifically address your questions. We're going to do our best to address the most broad-reaching questions in these workshops, but I will be able to direct you to people that can help you and also be able to schedule office hours with you. With that said, 1.5 hours is a long time, and I know that we're all very busy. You may not have time to register for these workshops, all of them. If you can register for just one, that's perfectly fine. Although it's a series, they are standalone. In addition, there will be some mini videos that you can get on the COVID-19 faculty resources site on Blackboard. And so please go there and watch those 10 to 15 minute videos, especially if you can't make it to the workshop. All right, here's the homework part for workshop 1. The homework is 3 parts. 1, be sure to look over the Cincinnati State guidelines and the student personal safety statement that all students are signing if they're coming to campus. 2, think about specific things you're worried about when it comes to classroom management. And 3rd, go a little further and think about a scenario that could happen so that we can work through it together and provide you the toolbox you need to de-escalate and have a really great class this fall. I look forward to seeing all of you. Please register on Eventbrite, and everything I've talked about in this video is already available there, so you don't have to remember what the homework is. It's listed, and all the materials you need to know for the workshop are also posted there. I look forward to seeing all of you, if you're able, or having you watch a video starting the week of July 20th. Thanks. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon.